No, it's already
No,
going.
it's all going. You've got to just let me know.
If we go off live, I'll go do the...
Yeah, I'm hoping it won't.
Yep.
Let me know if someone's in there so we can get a sound test.
Nobody so far.
Okay. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Here I am in Ballarat Botanical Gardens. I've come for a bit of a wander around. I've gone down through the little alleyway of, distinguished heads. That's a bit of a stretch when you're talking about leaders of political parties that have managed to take control of our country over the last couple of hundred years. So, I mean, like, there's probably a good, honest batch of fellas there in the early days, but then again, you never know. We were a colony of convicts after all. But you can definitely see the later additions, you know, with prime ministerial periods of 2 years, 3 years, 1 year. Oh my God. Look, I'm hoping you can all hear me well out there. I said I'm just down here in Ballarat. We're still filming the Argo Night series. We'll be going live this Wednesday night. Don't miss that. Secret location. I'm not going to tell you where we are. We had to relocate for the week due to a double booking, which beat us by 3 months, so we couldn't really press the point. But that's cool, because it gave me the opportunity to look further around Ballarat and discover more really cool places. I've wandered around to a number of little hole-in-the-wall bars, and mate, Ballarat's got a lot to offer. There's more nightlife happening here than one would normally expect in a little country town. But that's where you go wrong when you think of Ballarat as a little country town. It's like a little city in the middle of the goldfields. It's gorgeous. Look at this, I mean, this area. I'm here in front of this glass thing where they have plants inside, being a botanical garden, of course. Not the right kind of plants that interest me, though. We won't go into that. We don't have to, do we? So how is everyone today? Have we got anyone sort of like saying hi or anything like that there? I got my loyal and trusty cameraman Paul there, little technical man. You'll see him later. There's actually a camera running behind Paul as he's running that camera. So it's like, it's loop-de-loop.
Robert and David are watching.
Hey Rob, hey Dave, how you going, boys? Yeah, so look, things are getting exciting on the old political front, but they're also getting a little bit disappointing. I've noticed that Darren Hinch's Justice Party has put a candidate into the seat presently occupied by our very own Fiona Patten. So as I said, fighting amongst the minor parties for these seats, it's frustrating because it's almost like, oh look, all of those other seats are safe seats for Liberal and Labor, and you guys can contest over these one or two and don't ever try and take balance of power in Parliament. It's not about what the people want, it's what the parties want. Well, I think it's come to the time when you look at illustrations that have been made in places like Wentworth, where that 30% swing didn't go to the opposite major party, it went to an independent. So I don't want you to think about anything as a safe seat, because if Wentworth is no longer a safe seat, I don't think there is a safe seat in Australia. Keeping in mind, that was Malcolm Turnbull's little honeypot of a seat, that one. He was parachuted in there on his little pathway to prime ministerialship. We all know that. Good on you, Rupee. So, when you start to see micro parties fighting for the seats, it's dangerous, because it means that they're not going to contest the power brokers. They're not willing to have a shot at taking a seat to represent you, the people of Victoria. Now, Fiona Patten has been a stalwart defender of the community in many different ways, from the euthanasia debate to the cannabis community to the safe injecting rooms. Fiona Patten has been there for the people of Victoria, standing tall, standing proud, and speaking the truth in Parliament. And I want you to remember that when it comes time to vote, if you're in her electorate. I know Darren Hinch's party has got some good things to say. They've also got some fairly extreme things to say, not unlike Pauline Hanson. Once again, people that are saying things that we're thinking, but they're also saying things that we don't want to be thinking. You know, those little terrible thoughts that we start to think about other people because they're a little bit different. We really have to stop thinking about the differences between ourselves and start focusing on the similarities. The fact that families want a safe environment for their children to grow up in. that they want a safe, reliable education system, that they want an affordable health system. These are the things that matter to everybody, not just Victorians, not just Australians, everybody. And this is where we have to start focusing on the similarities. Let's not get off on this whole, oh, look, some violence again in Victoria, Melbourne, another terrorism attack. Look, terrible things happen in cities across this world every single day of the street, every single day of the week, on every street. Okay? You can't start just focusing on one or two individual acts and then categorizing a city as being full of that, because that's not the way Melbourne is. Melbourne is a beautiful, vibrant, multicultural society, and there is no room for the kind of innate hatred that is coming across because one or two individuals cannot work out a way of fitting into their society. That's not just related to people from a specific culture. That happens across the board. It's not a race, it's not a colour. That's just the frustration of living in a world that is so focused on money and not on the people in its community. We have to get the focus on the kids. We've got to give them something to do that's constructive and not destructive. We've got to take this money thing away from activities. Why is it that if you don't have cash, you can't participate? Is that the kind of society that our forefathers fought to create? I don't think so. I think that the street parties, I think that the community club Christmas parties, I think that was the society that they were trying to make, and we've allowed our successive governments to destroy that, to destroy what is truly society, to destroy the heart of communities, because everything for them is about dollars. It's about selling off everything that your ancestors worked hard and died to achieve in this country, and it's time that stopped. Anyway, this is Ancient J. I'm down here in Ballarat at the Botanical Gardens, just having my thoughts on the politics of today in Victoria. I hope you take the time to consider where you're putting your votes, okay? And have a look around, see if there's independents in your area. Don't just offer them your vote, offer them your support, get behind them, let people know about them if they're talking sense. Let's actually see some of these so-called safe seats be toppled. Let's see the independents rise in Victoria. Let's see representation stand tall, and let's see Victoria shine for Australia. You know as well as I do, we've got a beautiful renewable energy policy based on a hemp seed initiative. 70% of Victoria's energy needs supplied from renewable fuel, developed, produced and used right here in Victoria. It's a plan you and I can get behind because it uses our existing infrastructure. It's not going to cost us $1 billion to get it off the ground, and it's going to create jobs. It's going to create opportunities. It's going to create industries for Victorians across this state. Something we can all get behind and all realise we need. Anyway, call me Ancient, call me Jay. Please don't call me late for dinner because the munchies, that's a real thing.